Good evening, friend. It's a hot summer night out there. The perfect time for an adventure into the unknown. Tonight's story comes from issue number 5. What happens when a young woman from the 17th century dares the supernatural? Let's find out in She Dared the Unknown.
At the ancestral Dalton home in Salem, Massachusetts.
When a house dating back to 1683 is gonna be torn down to make room for a superhighway, there ought to be a story about it. How's about it, Mr. Dalton?
Well, your story should mention that even now, workers are busy digging up the old family burial plot and moving the caskets to a modern cemetery. But why not look around here first? You might get some pretty good local color.
Ancestors, huh? Funny how we build a false glamour around them just because they lived a long time ago.
False glamour? I don't know about that. Let's take this one for instance.
According to this tag, this is Scarlett Dalton, and she sat for this portrait in 1692. Her life was probably as drab as anything these days.
Think so? That book she's holding is her diary. It's been passed down in the family through the years. Suppose we take a look at it and see how drab her life really was.
This is a wonderful day for me. I'm to marry Hugh Merritt, and I'm the happiest girl in the world.
So what? Nothing exciting about that. Sounds like any modern dame to me. Read on.
It was hard to believe that I, Scarlett Dalton, could have been so lucky. It's a beautiful engagement present, Hugh. But I want to get you something, too.
You know my taste, dear. Anything as long as it's out of the ordinary.
I still remember how hard I tried. Finally, in a wharfside curiosity shop.
I've shown you nearly everything, ma'am. What about this pistol?
But I want something different. That little figure up there. Let me look at it. It's for sale, isn't it? Bring it out.
That? No, mistress, not that. It's incredibly ancient, and there's something strange about it. An old sailor sold it to me, and if I ever saw fear in a man's eyes, it was his. A pretty young girl like you shouldn't.
Nonsense. That's just superstition. It's just the thing I want. Something different. And I'm buying it. And so I took the little figure home, meaning to polish it. But as soon as I held it, a strange feeling gripped me. An awful fear. What was this odd panic, crowding reality from my mind? Oh my! Then, the unbelievable happened. From the fallen figure, there emerged a giant, wraith-like shape out of the unknown itself. It's all a dream.
Do not fear me, child. I mean you no harm. In life, I was a monk of the Order of Saint Benedict. As dark forces are at work in the world, so are the forces of good. My spirit has been tasked to be a guardian of the righteous. Those of good heart and clean conscience have nothing to fear from me. Instead, I shall protect them and grant them strange powers.
A figment of my imagination. It cannot be real.
You doubt the evidence of your own senses? Then come with me on a journey into the realm of the undead. See the creatures of this land, and know that they are always with you.
It was all a strange and terrifying journey. I trembled as I walked where mortal man had never trod. Those trees, they seem living and...
Gird your courage, my daughter. Ahead lie even more fearsome shapes.
Then they came flitting towards me, the nameless creatures of the unknown. I felt them pressing closer, closer. Frantically, I screamed. Then...
Fear not, child. See how they come near but no closer? It is because of my image that you hold in your hand. As long as it's within your grasp, neither man nor the unknown can harm you.
I felt an odd reassurance then. the weird flight back into the world of reality could frighten me no longer.
I have shown you much. Never let my image leave your possession. It will protect you and grant you strange powers.
The next morning.
It was all a dream. It must have been.
There's big news, Mother. Thomas Derry just returned from England after 25 years, and they've arrested him for murdering Guy Flint.
They've been enemies, and after Derry sailed, they found Flint missing. He must have fled and returned now, thinking it would be forgotten. But he'll certainly hang for his crime.
My mind was a whirl as strange memories crowded in on me. Memories from a life beyond my own. Flint was murdered by Indians. I remember it distinctly.
Why, it all happened years before you were born, Scarlett. You're looking odd. Is something wrong?
Confused, I raced back to my room, grasped the strange figure. I said those words because I seemed to remember that it happened that way. It's ridiculous. Unless what happened to me wasn't a dream, and I do have strange powers now. Then came an odd, dizzying sensation. I seemed to be fainting. The room spinning about me. The mist cleared, and magically, I found myself in a dense forest. They're here. Again, those awful creatures of the unknown. But I'm protected. They can't harm me. Heavy footsteps drew near, and the spirit vanished. Then, strange how I can recognize a man I've never seen. But that's Guy Flint, the man Derry is charged for having murdered.
Good heavens, Redskins! Oh! Better hide here. They may come back.
What a tale. She'd make a great young adult novelist.
I may be an old fool, but I can't help but believe it's all true.
My testimony created a sensation. Bailiffs were sent to check on my story, and when they returned...
It's true, Your Honor. We found Flint's body in the hollow tree with an Indian arrow through it, just as she said.
Young lady, all of this happened before you were born. How did you know?
Why, I didn't know what to say. For nobody would believe the truth. Sensing my agitation, my father came to my aid.
She must have found the body on a walk through the woods. Yes, that's it.
Thank goodness. Later, my secret became too much for me. I tried to tell Hugh, to no avail. And I felt that you, the man that I love, should know. This figure, it's given me strange powers. The power to remember things I never knew.
You little minx trying to fool me. Suppose you produce one of the great memories for me.
It's coming back again. That weird sensation. I see a strange civilization. People traveling in vehicles, which move of themselves, without horses. Machines that fly through the air.
Now I know you're joking. Prove it here. Take this paper and pencil. Draw me the things you claim to see.
Here they are. These. They can't belong to the past, or we'd have known something about them. They must be out of the future.
You're getting funnier and funnier, Scarlett. I'm afraid I'd have to actually see these things to believe them.
I'm going to marry you, Hugh. So it's important that you not only believe me, but share my power. Maybe it can take me into the future, too. Take my hand and hold on tightly. You, in whose image this figure is carved, transport us to the time and place of the strange devices you have revealed unto me.
Now, dear, still playing games, are we?
Then, with a roar like 1,000 maddened beasts, we found ourselves caught up in the wild vortex of the unknown. The next thing we knew, we were in the midst of a wonderland, such as I'd never dreamed could exist. This is it. The land I envisioned.
Merciful heavens! All of this, it's sorcery!
Would you get a look at those get-ups?
Is it an initiation
Or are they advertising something?
Let's get away from them, Hugh.
Hey, look out! We're going to die!
I call on you, yielder of unknown powers. Save us. I thought I heard a whisper, bidding me to banish fear. And then, don't you see, Hugh? As long as I have the monk's image, nothing can harm me. And it saved you too.
I'm afraid, Scarlett, afraid. Take me away from this wicked magic.
Once again, we dared the unknown vortex, and spanned the centuries. We found ourselves on familiar ground. You can relax now, darling. We're back where we belong.
Jumping Jehoshaphat! They appeared out of thin air!
It was then that the unexpected happened, shocking me to the core of my being.
What's the meaning of this all?
Can't you see, fools? It's not my fault. It's Scarlett Dalton. She's in league with the devil.
You know. No, you couldn't.
This is the fiendish device she uses to work her evil. I'll destroy it, and with it her wicked power.
Don't! Then, as he cast the fateful image into the fire, something happened. Something strange and terrifying.
He's right! She's in league with Satan!
The talisman that had guarded me, gone, destroyed. And out of the unknown, they came pressing in on me, closer and closer.
Boy, could that girl really dream him up. Too bad Hollywood couldn't grab her. But there's no more entries in her diary. It breaks off right here. Begging your pardon, Mr. Dalton. While we were transferring your old family coffins to the Newtown plot, one of them broke open. It belonged to someone named Scarlett Dalton. We transferred the remains, but we found this in the coffin.
Quickly, let me see that. Those same drawings, taken from the grave of a woman dead almost 3 centuries. Well, Mr. Reporter, do you believe us now?
Holy Christmas, Mr. Dalton! I believe it! I believe Scarlett dared the unknown, and I believe the experiences she tells of. But why didn't the diary continue?
Isn't it obvious? They burned her for being a witch. God rest her soul.
Well, my friends, as always. Wait a minute. Ancient monk.
I've come to demonstrate my strange powers.
Strange powers? Wait! Where are you taking me?